A very warm good morning. As you enjoy your morning coffee, we welcome you to a morning live show, Sports Cafe. I'm Megha and I'm joined in the studio by an eminent sports journalist, broadcaster, administrator and commentator, Mr. Anupam Gulati. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, Megha.
Let's quickly brief you about the show. We'd be having two segments, the first of which would delve into how the press reviewed various sporting events happening across the globe, and in the second segment, we'll be talking about aerobics. Now let's get kick-started with the first segment. So, women's team in hockey going down to Australia 1-4. First things first, mouth-watering clash which was potentially being offered. We've been denied that with Sindhu and Saina not facing each other in semi-finals because of Saina bowing out.
Yes, absolutely right. As a matter of fact, Sindhu and Saina Nehwal have faced each other only once, where the victory was Nehwal's. And we were all looking forward to yet another encounter. But now, of course, things have changed with Saina Nehwal, who slipped down the world rankings by 5 slots from 6 to 11.
Yeah.
Making her exit, losing in that 3-game bitter tussle that she had against her opponent. And on the other hand, well, we've seen Sindhu continuing her great form. She had won the China Open just a few days ago, and now she's into the semi-final. She's climbed up for the first time ever ahead of Nehwal in the world rankings at number 9. This has been her best. She's never broken into the top 10. And now let's hope she can do something and make it into the final again.
She started the match poorly, but yet again we see that her grit stands out. She did not give up, staged a comeback and won the match.
She is absolutely fabulous, but she's moody also. We've seen that so many times in the past when she has things quite wrapped up, but then faltering, maybe a lack of concentration, I cannot say. But at this level, it's so difficult to predict, because it's not going to be a straight games victory. As we've seen in both, it was fought over till the end, till the bitter clash, right till the end. So one game each and then the decider coming. And I think Sindhu has kept her composure. She's oozing with confidence after her maiden victory in the China Open. And I think she is here to stay. And well, every Thursday you have the world rankings. So that's a good thing that the international body, But now the clash against, the fact is, let's look at the earlier match, the quarterfinal that was. She's got a tremendous height advantage at 5'9". Her opponent was only 5'3". So that's a huge differential. Yes. Whereas as far as Saina Nehwal was concerned, at 5'6", the opponent being 5'5" is hardly any difference between the two. But she's got better of the 26th ranked player. The local girl, from Hong Kong did well in defeating the Saina Nehwal. But here this was the Singaporean who was trying to put in a huge fight. And she did, and I'm sure it was, she's ranked 26th in the world, 32nd ranking to the other girl. But I would imagine as far as the form is concerned, the confidence is concerned, I think it was Sindhu all the way.
From victor to the vanquished, now Saina Nehwal, she's staging a comeback. It's never easy for a recovering athlete because there's always this apprehension that the injury might come back. So how difficult it is?
Very, very difficult. We know of her exit in the Rio Olympics a few months ago. and then her knee surgery, then her rehab.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot out of a player to come back into competitive competition. So when she played in the China Open, that was for the first time.
Yeah.
Then she's done one better here. At least she's made it to
Yeah.
the quarterfinals. And now let's see, the circuit is on. So maybe she will improve. And I'm sure to be out of the top 10
Yeah.
it would be quite a shattering reality for her. But I'm sure she's a great fighter, and she will, I'm sure, probably try and break back into the leading players of the world.
जैसे कि उनके कोच विमल कुमार ने बताया कि उनके जो लेग्स है उनमें अभी स्ट्रेंथ आनी बाकी है, उन्हें ज़रूरत है उस पर वर्क करने की, तो फिजिकली 100% अभी शायद नहीं आई हैं.
जी हाँ, उसमें टाइम तो लगता है, जैसे मैंने कहा, सर्जरी के बाद पोस्ट सर्जरी रिहैब एट्सेट्रा, तो उनको फिटनेस का सर्टिफिकेट, सो टू स्पीक, एक्सपर्ट्स, मेडिकल एक्सपर्ट्स, फिजियोज ने कहा होगा. दैट इज व्हाई शी इज गॉन टू compete in this. So slowly it will come, no harm done, but she has a great amount of depth in her, great potential, and who knows, in a matter of time I'm sure she will improve.
अब दुबई सुपर सीरीज फाइनल्स में तो नहीं खेल सकती हैं, तो बहुत वाइज डिसीजन लिया उन्होंने और उनके कोच ने कि लोअर टियर टूर्नामेंट्स खेलेंगे, ज़्यादा कंपटीशन उन्हें फेस करने की ज़रूरत है ताकि मैच रेडी टोटली रहे नेक्स्ट ईयर के लिए.
Yes, absolutely, बिल्कुल ठीक है. अब उनकी जगह सिंधु खेलेंगी because she has broken in.
Yeah.
But I am happy कि कम से कम एक इंडियन पार्टिसिपेशन तो है ये दुबई वाले टूर्नामेंट में, और हम आशा करते हैं कि as time progresses she will get better, and she will be in a much stronger position to fight back her adversaries and maybe win a tournament in the near future.
पार्टिसिपेशन की बात करें तो इनिशियली क्या होता था, पिछले कुछ सालों में हम देखते थे कि जो टॉप प्लेयर्स हैं, साइना, सिंधु, यही सब अच्छा परफॉर्म करते थे, लेकिन अब हम देख रहे हैं कि बस पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए नहीं जाते हमारे प्लेयर्स. समीर वर्मा ने दिखाया, वो भी एडवांस कर रहे हैं, तो उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा यहाँ पे प्रदर्शन किया है.
Oh yes, absolutely. He's made it to the semi-final. Sameer Verma is the national champion, the 23-year-old.
Senior badminton.
And it's another matter that he's going to be pitted against the world number 3, the Dane Jorgensen, who is a crack player and who was in the China Open winner. So it'll be a very tough uphill task. But जैसे आपने सही कहा कि पहली बारी वो सेमीफाइनल में ऐसे बिग टूर्नामेंट में गए हैं, सरप्राइजिंग एवरीबॉडी with a big upset, और हम आशा करते हैं कि it will give him further motivation to do well in the other tournaments that he takes part in.
So all in all, India would be really heartened by how they performed so far in the Hong Kong Open. We'll shift our attention to cricket now, where India take on England in the third test at Mohali. So we first start with Hindustan Times, where it states that India would look to upstage England. Virat Kohli, his bite has been given a lot of attention to because the mind game that he plays before the match and the game that he plays with his bat is just as important. दैनिक जागरण ने कहा है कि इंग्लैंड ने छेड़ा, अब विराट नहीं छोड़ेंगे. बॉल टैंपरिंग की तरफ यहाँ पे रेफर करते हुए हिंदुस्तान का कहना है कि इंग्लैंड को फिरकी से फंसाने के लिए उतरेगी भारत. बहुत उम्दा प्रदर्शन किया है उनके स्पिनर्स ने, भारतीय स्पिनर्स ने. और नवभारत टाइम्स कहती है कि मोहाली में भी टेस्ट लेंगे स्पिनर्स, क्योंकि मोहाली पिच अब वैसी नहीं रही शायद जैसी पहले हुआ करती थी. Now, it was interesting that it was pointed out, dry and shaved, that is not what Mohali pitch used to be. So, England cannot really be pleased with that side.
Well, it's very difficult to say. I mean, the fact that this pitch was being for over 22, 23 years, you had matches played here. The first test match that India played there was against the West Indies, which they lost. They've got a very good, creditable record. Out of the 12 matches, they won 5. Or 6 have they won, 5 are drawn, 1 has been lost. But the square has been relayed since what it was, and as you mentioned, it was supposed to be the quickest wicket in India. Now the apprehension is that it might break and turn as is being expected, but it's going to be difficult, and England certainly will have lots of reasons to worry about. They've lost that last test match by a huge margin, 246, but they're a fighting side.
Yeah.
They've got some good spinners, but none of the English spinners have done very well if you look at history
Yeah.
in the subcontinent. When I say subcontinent, whether it's India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka.
Bangladesh.
So, even though they have a very quality coach for their spinners, Saqlain Mushtaq, and so he's grooming those boys,
Yeah,
but
Adil
they
Rashid.
don't have the quality of the spinners like Swan and Panesar, who came the last time. But we'll wait and see what happens, whether it's going to be a good batting track.
Yeah.
Toss is going to be very vital, Megha, and I'm sure the one skipper who wins the toss will rightly probably opt to go in and bat and try and put pressure into the other team. But don't discount England.
Yeah.
They are a great fighting side.
So the template remains the same: win the toss, opt to bat and post a mammoth total. In more cricketing action, we have Usman Khawaja, who's hit a century for Australia in the third test against South Africa. Let's view how the newspapers covered that story. We start with Hindustan Times. Khawaja becomes the first Aussie to hit century in pink ball test cricket. Remind you, this is a day-night test. The England Express had to say as opener, Khawaja complete package here. Iron willed is what the Mail today had heaped on Usman Khawaja. Praises are being heaped on him for his brilliant century, gritty century. Navbharat Times ने कहा, ख्वाजा ने सवारी कंगारुओं की तकदीर. पहले 2 टेस्ट में हार का सामना करने के बाद अब ख्वाजा वापसी कर रहे हैं. दैनिक जागरण ने भी ख्वाजा को ही बहुत फुटेज दिया है, बहुत वेटेज दिया है. उस्मान ख्वाजा ने जड़ा शतक, उनके शतक की तरफ प्रकाश डालते हुए दैनिक जागरण. हिंदुस्तान ने भी ख्वाजा के शतक की बात की है और ऑस्ट्रेलिया को जो बढ़त दिलाई है, दैट्स कर्टसी उस्मान ख्वाजा. दैनिक जागरण का कहना है कि ये ख्वाजा का 5वां टेस्ट शतक है. दैनिक भास्कर यहाँ पे कह रही है कि 5वां टेस्ट शतक है ख्वाजा का और इसके कारण ऑस्ट्रेलिया को मिली है बढ़त. How gritty he is. We've talked about what an explosive player he used to be. He curbed his natural instinct. His initial 80 deliveries fetched him just 18 runs, yet he gritted out. So that is what maturity is about. He's a senior player and he showed that.
Absolutely. Then he goes to open the innings with Steve Smith, the captain. And he proved what he is all about. And he got that very fine knock, despite the fact that the series is over with South Africa having wrapped it up 2-0. This is the last test match in Adelaide. But I think it will be only for academic interest. Australia having taken the lead for the first time and negotiating the bowling attack of the South Africans. I think he's done splendidly well with that pink ball and day and night cricket, as you said.
All the chopping and changing for Australia seems to have borne its rewards. Now we'll shift our focus to hockey, where Indian women's team were thrashed 1-4 by Australia. Not a very good news for the Indian hockey fans, but the Australians were clearly the dominant team. Times of India covered it and it talked about how India were thrashed 4-1 by Australia. Indian girls beaten 4-1 by Australia. दैनिक भास्कर का कहना है कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने 1-4 से भारत को हराया, भारतीय महिलाओं को हराया. हिंदुस्तान का कहना है भारतीय महिला हॉकी ऑस्ट्रेलिया से हारी. Clearly, they have made giant strides since the Olympics. They won the first test against Australia, but in the second, they had to go down 1-4. Australia clearly the dominant team, but there's still one match to play, and Indian team can still stage a comeback and win the series in the decider. Now we'll shift our attention to more stories in sports which have grabbed headlines and limelight. Let's shift our focus now to more of sporting stories and how the newspapers covered them. We talk about Mary Kom now. In Mail today, Mary Kom to receive Legends Award. That's what Mail today had to say. Times of India too talks about how AIBA would be honouring Mary Kom. दैनिक जागरण का कहना है कि मेरी कॉम को लेजेंड्स अवार्ड दिया जाएगा. हिंदुस्तान का कहना है कि मेरी कॉम को लेजेंड्स अवार्ड से सम्मानित किया जाएगा. नवभारत टाइम्स का कहना है मेरी को लेजेंड्स अवार्ड। Fairly though, she's put the Indian women's boxing on world map. It's courtesy her that Indian women's boxing has got impetus in India.
No two ways about it. The five-time former world champion, bronze medalist at the Olympic Games in London, the Asian Games, you know, you name it, and she's been there. She's been the pillar and the backbone of the women's boxing movement in our country. And has inspired so many youngsters to take up this sport, which normally, you know, in Indian households, would be a taboo for women to go and box around, or you know, or wrestling for that matter. But boxing, certainly a lot of them take a back seat. But I think it's a richly deserved award, and now that she's a member of parliament as well, let's hope she contributes as well towards further development of women's boxing in our country. You got the nationals just got over and in Haridwar, and it's a good encouraging sign, but I do hope that she will play a more dominant role in inspiring more youngsters. You had that biopic film also made on her, so I would imagine that now this is the time for her to, you know, really give back to boxing so much that she got from there.
And what a career it has been marked by comebacks. Every time she's been written off, she's made a comeback. Let's shift our focus from a senior veteran to an inexperienced but yet a very gritty golfer, which we talk about Aditi Ashok in our next story. She's been creating quite ripples. A Mail Today talks about how Aditi is in title contention at Qatar Open. The Indian Express talks about Aditi takes joint lead at Qatar in line for second title in a row. Times of India says Aditi in joint lead in Qatar Ladies Open. Talking about Aditi, she's so young, just a teenager, but the sort of maturity that she shows, it is beyond her years actually. In her game, in particular Olympics, that was a rich experience. She's already won a title, and here again she's in contention.
Oh yes, I think the 18-year-old, when she went to Rio for the Olympic Games and was up there in the top on the leaderboard the first couple of days, so that, you know, everybody in India, golfing aficionados or enthusiasts, really sat back, the first Indian woman golfer to take part in the Olympic Games. And that's done her confidence a great deal of boosting. And then winning the Open, the Indian Women's Open not long ago. And now here as the joint leader, of course you still have a couple of more days to go, you're halfway stage, but she's there as the joint leader. And a tremendous round yesterday with so many birdies and bogeys, and I think with 12 under par so far, I think she's had a very good first two rounds. But the next two rounds, let's hope she keeps that consistency and flow in her game and comes back with another crown. We'll be only too happy, and all the golfing fraternity
in India
will be proud of her.
Power to you, girl. Well, on that positive note, we head into our second segment. The importance of aerobics in our life cannot be overstated, and hence we endeavour to provide you with aerobics lessons.
You must be thinking, what a walk class, because walk class is nothing, you're just strolling in the garden. No, there's much more to it. We have 3 stages of walk, which if I teach you, you'll get to know how you get to increase the intensity while walking. So let's start with a little bit of warm up here. March on the right leg. For 4, 3, 2, tap in front, tap. Since walking is a forward movement, we concentrate during the warm up on more of the forward movement. After 4, 3, keep doing one more set of toe tap and move those arms stronger. Just warm your shoulders. For 4, 3, 2, and we're going to make it a heel kick. Heel lift. Keep going. Legs apart, lunge here. Other side. Once again. Speed it up. 4, This stretch you can do anywhere, even standing in the garden. Just do a little bit of walk, warm your body, and then do this. You're going to stretch your inner thigh. 4, 3, 2, and take it to your left. Hold it there. Hold it there. Turn to that side. Go down and up. Down. You're stretching your hip flexor here. And other side. Let's go. And turn. 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 There. Down and up. Can you feel the stretch in your hip flexors, friends? Yeah. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. And one more. Center. Round your back up. Once again, just stretch your back, walk in. We're going to go towards the rod and do a little bit of stretches. Yeah, let's go. Towards the rod. If you don't have a rod, in the garden you can use a bench. You must be having a lot of benches in the garden. Just lift your legs, put it on the bench. Here we have a rod. And we stretch our hamstrings and the calf muscle completely. Can you feel the stretch, friends? Okay, stay there. Since it's a dynamic stretch in the beginning of the workout, we need to move a little bit here. Try to hold the toe, try to hold it, and stretch your oblique. Hold it there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn around, same thing on the other side. Once again, stay there. Yeah, right. Right. Stretch it completely. And oblique stretch now. Turn. Turn. We're stretching our obliques here. And at the same time, we're stretching our hamstring muscles with the calf muscles. So at one point, you're holding one pattern and you're doing 3 stretches together. First stage of walk. Let's go here. Right. Come on, join me, join me. Circle. Circle. You have to walk in a circle. Circle, yes, this is the first stage. Keep going, keep going. Move your arms. Move your arms. Move your arms. Keep going. 4, 3, 2. Once again, a little faster. Now you're perfectly warmed up. Your intensity is going to increase. We go for a second stage with elbows 90 degree. Elbows 90 degree. Keep going. Move those elbows. We work these elbows because at the same time we're working the waistline. Together. Walk. 4, 3, 2. Can we make it to the third stage? Are you prepared to increase the intensity? All right. We're going to speed it up, and faster. Move your arms, move your arms. In between, you can keep opening your palms as well so that you get blood circulation and you don't hold your fist too tight. Keep moving. Fist. Your palms. Open your fingers and close. Like this, you get good blood circulation in your body. Come on, keep going. Faster. Now, third stage, guys. We're not in the second stage. Faster. Come on, move. Now, just think you're running. You should walk as fast as you're running. Faster, faster. One straight line, small steps. Just small steps. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Walk faster, faster. Small steps. And rotate your hip. Rotate your hip. It's a hip movement. It's a hip movement. A heel-toe movement. When you're walking, you're not walking like this. It's a heel-toe. Heel-toe. It's a heel-toe. When you do these 3 stages of walk, you realize that you're again increasing your intensity and you end up doing a good cardio exercise. Without the stair, without aerobics. A good cardio exercise anywhere in the garden with a nice track. Make sure the track is not concrete. It has to be with mud or sand or soft because it's not good for your joints, your ankles. So remember, any garden you have nearby or a track next to you, go for a walk every day, you'll get a good cardio exercise. Can you see sweat? Yeah? Can you feel it? Just a little bit of walk within a small room. Can it make you tired? Yes, it can, right? I said the third stage. This is you going the first stage of walk. Come on, run. Speed it up. Faster. Yes. This is the third stage of walk. Elbows 90 degree, brisk walking, and move your arms, move your palms. Keep going. So we do a little bit of cool down here. Since we have a studio here, in the garden you can go last round of the walk in a first stage, that is strolling. That will again help you in cooling down because your heart rate actually goes high when you're doing the third stage of walk. So legs apart, go down, Now we're going to concentrate more on stretching because while walking, you don't realize how many muscles you're working, the entire lower body. So you need to stretch each and every muscle very carefully and for a longer period of time after the walk. Go down, down, both hands on the floor. Try to increase the stretch between the gap between your legs. Go wider, wider, wider. Stay there. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, go further down. Down, down. Hold, hold. Very slowly walk in. Both hands on your knees. Drop your shoulder to one side. Remember one thing, while walking also, never ever hold your breath during the walk and the stretching. The other side, stay there. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. You're not curling your shoulder. Yeah, you turn it there, but it's completely relaxed. Back is flat. Good, good posture, well done. Just make sure both the knees are bent. This one is not extended, yeah. All right, center. Now we lunge to one side, lunge there. Increase the stretch in your inner thigh. Take support of the floor. Turn, face the wall, go down, down. And you can increase the stretch as much as you want. Stay there. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you feeling? Are the muscles hurting right now after the walk? They feel a little bit of walk into so much. Stretch it there and feel it there. So 4, 3, 2. Now make sure when you're getting up, you're not putting your weight on the knee. You put your weight on the hand in front of you. Lift the leg up. Yeah, that's it. And the other side. Same thing here. 4, 3, 2, and turn. Go down. Face that mirror. Turn the toe. Yes, there. And increase the stretch as much as possible if you want. Stretch the front of the thighs. That's called quadriceps. Hold it there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Right. Pull it as much as you can. Right. The other way. The other leg. When you talk about the lower body, you have lots and lots of muscles which you need to warm and cool. So remember, it takes a little longer to stretch your lower body after the walk. All right, the 2 more stretches. One is the glute stretch, because you've been doing a lot of hip rotation. Sit and stretch it. Hold, hold. Can you feel the stretch, friend? Can you? Four, 3, 2. Other leg. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more thing. Your ankle has gone through a lot of strain. Let's relax it now. Circle it. Circle it. Circle it the other way now. Is it relaxed? Can you feel the stretch and relaxation in your ankle with the stretch? Yeah? Shake it out. The other side. Other way around. Stretch it the other way. Circle it. And go down. You're going to drop the neck to one side. And we're going to roll it all the way down to the side. And up. Once again, same side. Okay, the other side. Take it the other way. Go down. Right. Up. Left. Once again, go down. Right. Up. And then you circle the shoulder. Relax it. And that's it. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. Raise your heel. Now when you're raising your heel, you're stretching your shin, calf, both muscles. Do you feel it? And down. Once again. So this is called dorsiflexion. When you put the toes, point the toes upwards, stand on your heels. This is again, which is very important after the walk class. Move back. Here. Yeah, that's a good stretch for your calf. All right, so last time, take a deep breath in. Inhale, exhale. And that's it. Thank you, friends. Thank you for accompanying me. Thank you, viewers. I hope you enjoyed the walk class and you'll do it yourself now, next time in the garden. Goodbye.
That was so refreshing. हम अपने एक्सपर्ट की भी राय ले लेते हैं इस पे कितना महत्वपूर्ण होता है आज के जीवन में जो इतना बिजी है फिजिकली मेंटली दोनों के लिए रिकूपरेट करना एरोबिक्स के साथ?
Absolutely wonderful. I think first thing in the morning, if you do, whether it's aerobics or it is the yoga or any kind of physical exercise, where you tone up your muscles, you tone up your mind, you can start the day on a good note, and I'm sure it definitely is beneficial, say the least. But I think everybody should do, irrespective of their age, whether they're youngsters or they are even middle aged or the elderly, whatever maximum that they can do. I think it is a very it's a boon really to be associated with these kind of things.
And we have benefited tremendously from your analysis, so thanks a lot for that.
Thank you so much, Megha, for inviting me.
Talking about analysis, you can send in your analysis as well of the show, of how we can make it more enriching for you across our social media platforms. We invite your comments and suggestions on at Facebook, Doordarshan Sports, at Twitter, DD Sports Channel, YouTube, at Doordarshan Sports, and on Insta at dd.sports. Alright, thanks to guest for giving us company over here. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And probably on that note, we'll have to wrap up our show. That's all we have time for in this edition of Sports Cafe. Until we see you next time, it's goodbye from the entire team.